In Converge, we focus on developing leaders because leaders have influence on the people in their context, in their culture. The role of the global worker so often is casting vision, being a resource for them.
My story, how God catched me, it started on TikTok. This woman gave some salvation prayer or something, and I said it like 5 more times just to be sure. And I was like, okay, let's try it out. Doing my faith alone, it was like, you can almost say excruciating. I knew that I had to share my faith, but I was so afraid.
When I was 8 or 9, my dad said we need someone who can lead kids ministry. And after some years, I started to develop myself to be kids and youth ministry leader.
She had been praying for someone else to come alongside of her in leadership there, but there was no one else. If this person comes, it needs to be someone that God completely provides.
Since then, when Garsander jumped into the ministry and we started to lead together, I have really felt that I'm not alone as a leader.
When you have the community, it's just empowering. It really, really has supported me.
And there are now 10 people on their team. ANK is now also mentoring 2 other town youth ministries. We've seen the network continue to grow.
And then that begins to gain more and more momentum, and that's what we have going on in the 6 Degree Initiative.
À Cara, on travaillait avec beaucoup d'églises. On implantait, Jonas et moi, JJ et Melissa nous ont invités de venir à Aneho pour commencer le ministère.
Aneho, Togo, the birthplace of voodoo, is known for being what people have called the missionary graveyard. It was a grind for them in those early days, just sharing the gospel, sowing seeds wildly. New Life was planted around 2009. Today, in a 5-mile radius of New Life Church, every single household has heard the gospel. But from church plant 1 to church plant 2 took 7 years.
Jonas a disciplé Ben. Ben a commencé à discipuler les autres personnes, à évangéliser et à implanter l'église. Et Ben a discipulé Antoine.
Anamé, c'est-à-dire le lieu de la sorcellerie. Et c'est là le culte a commencé. J'ai vu qu'il y avait un homme qui était vraiment concentré en écoutant les paroles de Dieu. Il était un féticheur et quelqu'un que tout le monde craignait dans le village. Et il a fait promesse à Dieu qu'il va s'approcher d'un homme de Dieu pour l'éclaircir sa parole. Et quand le jour-là, il m'avait vu, il a dit « Ah, j'ai rencontré ce que je voulais. » Et il a donné sa vie à Jésus.
When a witch doctor comes to Christ, that will transform an entire community. Around that time, we were introduced to the Timothy Initiative. Now we see 120 churches that have been planted over a 4-year period.
Nous ne voulons pas avoir un pasteur orphelin sur le terrain. Nous voulons les accompagner.
The Better Together Network is all about flourishing leaders, flourishing families, flourishing churches in every single community of the voodoo capital of the world.
The things that are happening in the 6 Degree Initiative are so exciting, and we believe that that's moving into this phase of a gospel movement.
Converge have had a presence here since 1946, and mostly they concentrate on those who were poor and downtrodden people.
We had a hospital, we had a school that had started in another part. There were a handful of churches, but in the early 70s, many of our missionaries, when they had to leave, weren't sure that they had really had much of an impact.
The Spirit of God is moving among the churches in Assam.
We were able to go back and see what happened and literally found 400,000 believers. Now the people of Assam have reached 17 other unreached people groups around them.
Since India is the largest populated country in the world, still the task is huge.
We have a bond that unites us, and we continue to connect and invest and pray for and support one another and help one another. If we come back to what we're doing today, is being faithful to invest in every single person we can, to raise them up as a faithful disciple and a healthy leader. And the beautiful thing about movement is if it works the way we hope, the Holy Spirit will do something way bigger and way better than we could ever imagine.